We've seen the Chiefs beat the Hurricanes this year. The Hurricanes at home now, because it looks like they'll get a home run through the playoffs into the final. The Chiefs going there, they're the team that could get there and get that done if someone was going to do it.
They're just a niggly side that's not going to go away. And I think the most dangerous thing about the Chiefs is they can score points from anywhere. You know, like some sides, it's about, okay, let's not let them get into the 22, but they've got players led by Damien that will take an opportunity if it's seen. I think it's two styles very similar, you know, like both sides can sort of score from nothing. And that's why I just sort of feel the Canes defensive system could be the point of difference, is probably the separating factor. I think they'll be better for it. I think the little punch on the nose from their experience in Hamilton will make them a lot more on edge outside of the 22, because it's the first time they probably lost a game from that position. And then obviously going to Golden Point, just, I don't know, they've looked more desperate, Bryn. You know, like they would be annoyed that Wallace Teddy got to that ball from that kick, rebound, and why weren't we, you know, on it more? So it gets the feeling now, and I don't like saying this because I've loved how Super Rugby, you're sort of on your edge up into the finals, but you just do feel like there is a separation between those two in the next four.
And the Blues sitting third, you know, and they've got a bye this week. It feels like actually, no, it can't be closed. Yeah, it is those two. Crusaders,
you know, like they I don't know. It's just can't write them off just yet. Maybe it's more baggage. I think I just dragged these bags of Crusaders memories around, but I think they're certainly there. If you look down the bottom of the table, it's, you know, Brumbies, Reds, or Waratahs are going to have to do it from home, away from home.
Geez, the Reds losing to the Force, Brenner, that was big for them. Like, that really changed the look of how they could jump. They could have jumped the Blues into third if they wanted to along the way. Now it looks like that's possibly not going to happen, more likely fourth if they get 2 wins.
Yeah, well, they still do have not an easier draw, but a more lenient draw in terms of not playing the Derby games of the Kiwi team. So there still is a chance. But I think, you know, probably the biggest winner for that game is probably the Crusaders, right? With being able to have the bye, not get any points, and sit where they were. So, you know, if you do look at the end of the round, it's probably the Crusaders that sit pretty with how those results went. But yeah, I think just to go back to the Chiefs, and I think with the Hurricanes, them probably those two separating themselves from the other teams in the competition, like they have the ability to be able to go bang bang, and that's with what the Hurricanes do very, very well. Like throughout the year, they've scored points in pretty much quick succession and being able to take teams out of the game. And if you look at probably on the weekend against the Highlanders, and I know there was a yellow card from Lavanini, but tries to, you know, 27th minute, 30th minute, and 35th minute, 21 points, and, you know, very small span where they're able to take it away from you. So I think the Chiefs, you know, with the way that they have played this year, and I know like they've kind of got under the radar, and I know I'm not saying they've gone under the radar in terms of like where they are on the points ladder, but when it comes to finals footy, they can just find a way to stay in it. And I think, you know, with what they learned, the Hurricanes learned, now have, you know, when they do play the Chiefs again, you'd have to think that it was a good learning for them. But in finals footy, I think Jipper, the group that they have had, the experience of being in finals, a lot of those groups, I know they haven't won it, but a lot of them have played finals footy in big games, in finals. You just can't, I guess, take them away of being a really genuine chance, even though the Hurricanes are the top team at the moment.
Like the Chiefs, obviously, there, like that's the one you're thinking the final is going to be the Hurricanes Chiefs. But man, if the Crusaders they've got 2 games at home. They beat the Chiefs and the Hurricanes at home. Their tails are up. They've grown a lot of confidence through, you know, I suppose the theory of Leicester at 7 coming off. It's, you know, Dave Havili, I think he'll get better and better. You know, he's come back, you know, and he's had a few errors in his game, but he's like their mojo. He's you know, something special. I think with Ethan back, it's going to make Leicester give him so much more options because he can hit all the rucks. Leo Willio, but he's a bigger guy. He gets back involved. I don't know, like it just...
I think Will Jordan coming back as well, Joe.
They're going to have to do it away from home, like because they're still going to have to... they're not going to... They might get to third, but the Reds are out. Like they're 27 points, so they can't pass the Blues. The Brumbies, they'll need 2 bonus points to pass the Blues. So that top four's pretty locked.
Mm.
The only way it can move is probably the Crusaders moving down at 32 if they lose both those games. Yeah, it's going to be a doozy final series because even the Reds, you look at it, they rested or they changed 8 guys. I don't know why that you do that.
It's going to have a massive impact on them.
Huge. They could have finished third.
Yeah. Belief in your squad is one thing. Doing it with 3 weeks to go when you've got so much to play for is possibly
And
another.
the Force have been playing well. Not sure that was the right call. Captain Hindsight over here.
Always victorious.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, it's hard to see the Waratahs and the Highlanders jumping up though. Like you kind of feel, well, the Waratahs, they do have the Brumbies at home. If they win that game, they're in with a chance. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know whether they've got that. They're just such a hard team to understand. After watching them against the Drua, you know,
they are so hard, aren't they?
I mean, who saw them putting 50 points on over there?
I didn't.
No. Then next week, they're awful.
Yeah. It's the frustrating thing about the Drua as well. It's like they get up for the big games over there and they were just off. The error rate was so high.
Yeah.
They'll be annoyed with themselves because they're making a nice little charge there.
Thank you very much for everyone who put in their entries last week within the comments section about, you know, who will come where in the top 6 and what numbers they'll have. We did get a little bit, and I wonder whether now we do it again this week, and I'll tell you what, to the people who entered last week who are going to feel bad about that, we'll let you have either of your entries, whichever one is closest, for the prize at the end. And get into the comment section and tell us what you think this will look like in 2 weeks. This will be the last week of it. We're not going to do it next week when everything seems a little bit easier.
Another bite at the cherry.
Another bite at the cherry. This is your second crack. Give you a second crack at it. Please get into the comment section. And we will have a prize for you at the end of it. And we will let you people who got in last week have 2 cracks at the cherry. So there you go. And if you got it in your first week,
you're a magician.
You are very, very good. Well done. It is quite impossible. Okay, let's get into our tipping then. Right, round 15. Crusaders versus the Chiefs is the first one up, Brenner. How do you feel about this?
Oh, man. Such a good battle between those teams. Such a good rivalry. If all Jordan plays, they win. It's just one person for that side. But I think, look, the Chiefs and how they are playing and the kind of, you know, the things that I touched on around them being able to score points when they need to and how quick succession they can do in some games. And then the way that they are battle-tested post that Highlanders game, I think, yeah, I'll pick the Chiefs. But if all Jordan's back, yeah, I'll go Crusaders.
I think I've got to let these demons go Sunday, but I can't. I just think the Crusaders are just getting that confidence. I'll pick the Chiefs. I'll pick the Chiefs just purely because I don't think they'll be that happy with that Highlanders. I know they won by a lot of points, but in terms of their collision area, they got banged up a little bit, and I know Jared Hoiata and the coaching group there won't like that. So you've got to think there's going to be a little bit of rough edge in and around that contact area, which will suit the Chiefs. It'll be close. It'll be close.
Now, the next game, the Waratahs versus the Brumbies, is going to have a massive effect on what 4-5-6 looks like. Waratahs at home.
I'm going them.
You're going Waratahs?
Yeah.
Man.
I'm a sucker for punishment.
Put Jake Gordon in the team and you'll pick him all week long.
I love Jake Gordon. He's such a good player. Beautiful.
Okay, why?
Yeah, I'm picking them. I think they're just a confidence-based team. I don't think they would have gone over expecting to do what they did. There was some innovation in their strike plays. I feel like they've just gone, let's have a crack. Yeah, I've been hard on the Brumbies this year too. Sorry, Brumbies fans, I apologise.
You won't be apologising when they lose to the Waratahs. Brenner, what are you thinking?
And that's where I'm going. I think the Brumbies will beat the Tars, just for that fact, for the consistency. I think, whenever we put bloody any kind of positiveness around the Waratahs, they tend to disappoint us. So I'll continue with the disappointment for the Waratahs, and the Brumbies will get the win over in Sydney.
Right, we move to Saturday. Moana Pacifica hosting the Reds. Now, the Reds will be absolutely fuming. Brent, what chance do you give Moana Pacifica?
I give them a chance, them being at home. And obviously they're playing for a lot more than just for themselves. So, I think they definitely are a chance. But I think with where the Reds are, and if the Waratahs do win, they've got to be able to try to pick up wins. So with 2 rounds to go, I think, the Reds, they'll bring back their guys that didn't play, and they'll get the result over in Auckland.
I want to spice it up.
No.
I'm going Moana.
Are you actually? You're going for the team
they
with 4 points on the table?
Yeah, the Reds just disappointed me.
All right.
Yeah.
This is your heart speaking, not your head?
I don't know. I'm just going Moana.
I don't want to be mean to Moana, but there is nothing on paper or this season that suggests that that's going to happen.
And they've had patches in their first half, and I just think the Reds have been so inaccurate, which will give them opportunity.
That's a real blowout at the end of the season if they lose to the Force
There you
and
go.
the MP.
There you go.
They could have been a top 3 team only a week ago, and
Yeah,
now
the problem is, I'm doing it out of spite because I said they're going to finish third and they just embarrassed me against the Force.
okay. The next one seems cut and dried. Canes at home against the Landers.
I'll go the Landers. I'll go the Hurricanes. I'll go the Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. Same for you, brother.
Same for me, Hurricanes.
And the Force hosting the Drua.
I think it's the Force there at home. I picked the Force to beat the Reds as well last week. So I'll continue with the Force being able to beat at home. And I think the Drua, they struggle away from home. So
Bryn's basically given them the mojo to get up at the end of the season.
Yeah. I'll go the Drua. just to be different.
Just so I got this clear,
Yep.
you've gone the Chiefs beating the Crusaders
Yep.
away. You've gone the Waratahs beating the Brumbies.
Yep.
And you've gone Moana Pacifica beating the Reds.
Yep.
You've stuck with the Canes, and then you've gone the Drua against the Force.
Yeah.
This is the kind of Hail Mary that you see at the end of the picking comp when you're not quite in.
I think it's because I'm going on holiday. I'm already there.
Jipper's going to be away in Vegas next week, so he won't be on the show.
I probably won't be watching the footy. So you'll have to text me how I did.
Yeah.
1 from 5.